Bruh, it is the end of July already, but
Yes,
Team No
sir.
Sleep is in the building. It don't matter. Come on. What it do? What it
Yeah.
do? Beef stew.
Yes, sir. Man,
Uh huh?
blessed.
Okay. Keep up.
BLESSED. We blessed.
That's true. All day, every day. Would you say anytime you get a chance to do it one more time is a good day?
Absolutely.
Let me say something real quick before we jump into everything. Made some adjustments with the production. We are streaming back on the original channel as well. Decided so I made this decision after having a couple of hits of the 49 mile. Shouts out to 49 Mile Bourbon. Uh, that we own this thing, right? So
Hmm.
we own this channel. We are stewards of the community. So I'm not gonna let any algorithm tell us where we can and cannot stream. So we're on Team No Sleep. We're on James Hicks. We're back on Facebook. I can't go to Twitter right now because my man over there is he's got a lot of things that he's saying. So right now I can't get myself wrapped around going on over there just yet. But we're gonna figure something out. But I just wanted to say that. So we are gonna be live everywhere so we can make sure to get the most engagement and the most people watching and enjoying the sessions. That being said, all the preliminaries out of the way, I'll take another shot.
Yes, sir.
Montel, tell them how you doing while I take this shot of our
Oh
sponsor,
man, just
49 Mile.
blessed as usual, man. Another week, another midweek hump day we're getting over. 10 toes down, man, and just be thankful, man. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for life, thankful for family, thankful for friends, thankful for just, the sun rising, getting up, man. So I thank God every day, man. I cannot complain.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, I see, and I knew there was going to be a positive aspect too of us going everywhere because I'm seeing folks coming in from all the different locations, and this is the family, right, that we've been missing out on. So
Yep.
so we here. We know we're going to talk
Hey,
about the Olympics.
before we get into it,
Okay,
everybody
okay.
that's out there, if you got a question or you want to discuss something or
Oh,
you want to
shoot.
bring up something or
Just
comment,
let them.
do it. I mean, do it. We want to have those engaging conversations. Unlike some of those other platforms,
Uh
we
oh.
really want to be engaging with our audience, and talk about
Talking
what you
about
want to
people.
talk about as well as bring stories to light.
Man, you started off like that. Talk. I try to be friendly and PC. Talk about just the Olympics. You already throwing smoke out there. You already
Oh
throwing some
yeah,
of that
man.
Snoop Dogg smoke. Uh,
We got to. We got to.
so again, we're gonna talk about the Olympics. We're probably gonna spend a lot of time on that because there's a whole lot of aspects about that, and we haven't met online since the start of that, and a lot of angles going on with that in and of itself. But we
Hmm.
always do like to start and talk about kind of a social impacting story. So we want to talk and we want to give condolences to the family of this young man here, young football player out at what was the name of the school? It was
Graceland University.
Graceland University, football player.
Yep.
Gone too soon, already lost his life out there on the field. So it's this tragic incident that happened out there. I don't know the specifics, but talk to me. What happened, Montel?
Yeah, he collapsed. I believe during a workout, getting prepared for the season. Obviously, we know we're having heat waves everywhere. The weather extreme. And this young man collapsed and passed away. My condolences to the Smith family. Another young guy just trying to get that work in, living his dream, and unfortunately, something went haywire within the system, and he passed out, and he wasn't able to recover. I know some guys on the Graceland staff. I want to give
Okay.
my condolences to them, to all the players, the Smith family especially. I know they have a GoFundMe fund. I never promote that stuff on our website, but this is a situation where they may need a little bit of help. With the arrangements for their son. It's just an all around sad situation, but you know, um, I just praise to the family, man. It's just another. This is an unfortunate situation. No one saw this coming, right?
Yeah.
He's working out, getting ready for the season, prepared, and then something just happened. They don't quite know yet. They haven't released it yet, but my condolences to the family. And like I said, if anybody's able to give anything, please look the story up. Graceland University, Smith died, and I think they have the GoFundMe link there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
we can
I got
make
it
the
right here on the
donations.
screen. So what I'll do, I'll
Yeah.
put it in the description after we're live to make sure folks can take a look at that and read the story about that and act accordingly as they wish, as they shall. So man, again, we could go in a whole different kind of direction just
Yeah.
about that and talk about, but I think we've already hinted on some of those questions. Maybe, we'll save the question that I want to ask about safety in football and just even sports in
Okay.
general for next week.
Okay.
Since we
Yeah.
got
We got a special guest
special
next week.
guest. Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
Don't tell everybody just yet. Don't tell, because you got to make sure you subscribe to the channel and come back
Yeah.
next week, because we got special guests coming to the building. NFL. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. A Hall of Fame nominee,
See,
a
there he
great
go.
player, great man, great gentleman, great friend, all the nine. So I'm excited to have him on the show and talk shop with us. So yeah, absolutely. I know you want to leave some stories in your thing going into the Olympics,
Okay.
but we got to touch upon the story about transgenders in boxing in the Olympics.
Wow.
They've allowed two of them have passed the test to be able to fight in Paris. So that's, I don't know if you brought that up. I wanted to make sure before we got to everything, this is a story that needs to be kind of put out there and done.
Talk
The
to us about it, man.
IOC, they're allowed to participate in boxing. So 2 former men that are now changed their gender to women are competing in women's boxing in the Olympics. How do you feel? I'm asking you the questions. How you feel about it?
All right. So we've talked about this for months. We were ahead of this whole conversation for a long time already, and wondering how the IOC was going to deal with it when these Olympics had hit. In the opening speech for the Olympics, the IOC president said that these were games for everyone, regardless of identity and things of that nature. So it's sanctioned by the governing board of the IOC. I personally am not a fan of a natural born man fighting a natural born woman.
Yep.
I don't want your son in the ring fighting my daughter. I can't look beyond
regardless of what they
anything
identify
else.
with.
Yeah,
regardless of what they identify
right.
with.
So that's how I feel. Right. Again.
Yeah.
So I can't look beyond that piece right there. And
okay.
I'm not even gonna watch the action, right? Because it would be cringeworthy for me. Again, just me personally, the 54-year-old dude. This is just father of 2. This is just how I feel. I'm not even gonna watch that action, because that I get no sense of competition. I get no sense of entertainment. I get no joy as a sports fan by seeing that competition right there. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to, and I even give a step forward. I really don't want to support it. Not that I don't want to support transgender athletes. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to support a transgender athlete competing in women's sports where there's an unfair advantage. That's what I'm not supporting. That's the cause I'm not supporting. I believe they need a platform to compete. I really do. We've talked about it several times. But I don't think this is the right platform, regardless of what the IOC is kind of trying to be politically correct or gender correct or specific, or wherever you want to frame it. I don't believe that's a fair fight. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to support something where there's unfairness in there. And that's unfortunate, because I believe probably the transgender boxers are probably very, very talented. They're probably very, very talented. They probably do deserve an opportunity to compete on a global scale, but they need to be able to compete against other transgender athletes.
You gonna give them an asterisk if they win?
I don't know where we go with this, man. I mean, I was even confused about and I'm gonna be blunt. I was confused about the opening ceremonies. I was really confused about what they were presenting.
I wanted to start there. You already put the cart before the horse.
Yeah. Well, this ties into it. I mean, I was confused. I really was confused. This is supposed to be a celebration of athletes, of global athletes and their achievements, and them being able to compete on a global level. But yeah, we're talking about all kind of different stuff. Biblical symbolization was in there. Obviously, gender identity was all kind of entangled in there, and I didn't get it. I really did. I don't understand what it was supposed to be about, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what, before we go further into that, because there's a whole lot to unpack just about the open ceremony, but I want to be cognizant of folks coming in with these questions. So Chris is asking, so is the issue more around safety? and then kind of what is the stance on swimming. Dr. Stone, check out the old episodes. We've talked about the swimming stuff forever
Hmm.
before it was even in the front pages of the news, right? We've talked about our stance on that. And yeah, my issue again is around the safety piece. I just can't see a Chris Stone going and fighting, I don't know, a Tanya Smith. And I mentioned those two names because both of those folks know who those people are, right? I mean, that's from my perspective. Even if it's a controlled environment, even if it's a sport, even if it's a competition, what I can't see a man consciously putting gloves on, lacing them up, and striking a woman and finding any solace in that. That's me. Listen. I may be old school. I may be narrow minded. I may be stubborn. I may be bigoted, whatever case you want to be. But in this country, I can be what I want to be, and I'm telling you how I feel. You guys have asked me how I feel about this situation, so that's how I feel. Yeah, so it's mainly around the safety aspect of it. Walter
Yeah,
Strong is saying transgender athletes need their own platform to compete against one another. Come on, y'all.
I agree 100%. I mean, and with Mr. Stone's comment, I believe that safety is an issue, and I believe unfair competition. It's unfair. A male's genetic makeup is completely different than a woman's. It is. That's a science. That's a proven fact that it's genetic makeup. So that does make it an unsafe environment.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, Marvin. Even if their skill level is the same, at this point, it's a different type of a conversation. For me, this is a conversation about honestly, and again, I may be wrong, I may be narrow-minded, I may have blinders on. This is a conversation about right and wrong. This is a conversation that needs to be handled in a separate arena, just like Walter Strong is saying. It's just the Olympics, Paralympics, Trans-Olympics. I don't know what we call it, but there just needs to be a separate coliseum to where we allow folks on an even playing field to compete. Chris, you're asking about the swimming thing. We've talked about that for a long time. Do not agree with that, right? Again, with the fact that Leah, what's her name? Leah Thomas?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is competing now, losing, right? When Leah Thomas was 100% officially a man, was losing, coming in fourth, fifth, sixth, not even finishing.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Leah Thomas identifies as a female, smoking everybody in the pool. Genetics, body composition, muscle mass, all those things that you were born with make it an unfair advantage. So,
yeah, I think Marvin said about what skill set is the same. That's in boxing or physical sport. I do still have a problem with it. I have a major problem with it. Skill set the same in tracking. You're running a race is non-competitive. Maybe not so much, especially if it's in a friendly environment. But we're in an environment where everyone is supposed to have an equal playing field and be the same genetic makeup. Then I believe the same should compete against each other, so there's no unfair advantage. That skill set, I think that's a subjective. I mean, how are you going to judge someone's skill set unless you time it or something like that where it's the same? That one where it gets a little bit murky. But I do not agree with it. I just don't agree. I think if that's the case, then why don't you compete against your biological makeup, right? If your skill set's the same, why don't you compete against your biological makeup? Just because that young lady's skill may be a little bit more advanced, that doesn't give them the right to be. That doesn't say that the transgender gets the right to compete against them. The transgenders compete against the one that's transgender, or compete against someone that you're biologically developed as, came as. So I don't know, man. I mean, this subject is going to get murkier and murkier and murkier as it goes along, and I can only speak like through my lens. We talk about it all the time. I can only speak through my lens. I don't agree with it. I really don't. I just think there's such an unfair advantage to a male getting in the ring with a female and fighting.
Yeah, I'm not going to be tuning in that night for that.
Yeah.
So we
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A male that's identified as a woman getting in the ring. Let me make myself politically correct because I don't want to discriminate or.
Come on now, let's be clear around here. Let's
I don't want to be offended by it. I don't think a person that was born a biological male who identifies as a female should get into the ring with another female. So I want to make sure that's very clear. I don't want to upset anyone because that's not my intent at all.
Yeah, we don't want to cause any more disruption. Y'all know every
Yeah.
time we cause a problem, internet signals go down, FBI, CIA starts tearing up stuff, and we go offline for some reason. I don't know. When we get controversial, listen, we're gonna get controversial now. Let me talk to you about them opening ceremonies.
Okay.
How you feel about them opening ceremonies? Okay? So let me ask you this: have you been to Paris? Have you been to France?
Never been to Paris. No, never.
Paris, France is a very open society. Everyone is free to do themselves and be themselves. And I love that about that. I love that about France. I love that about Paris. I love that about that whole Eastern area right there, that European area. There was a lot of perceived symbolism in the opening ceremonies that have some folks up in arms about what it really meant. You got a representation that seemingly looked like the Last Supper.
Yeah.
that had different folks out there doing that. You had seemingly representation of a pale ghost. I mean, some pale horse. If you think about the Book of Revelations, y'all folks that read the Bible, that know your Bible, look at the Book of Revelations and just there's some symbolism, there's some similarities that just make you ask a question like, okay, is this are they talking about these types of things? Are they making fun of Christianity? Are they making fun of religion? Or are they being expressive? Or does it even relate to? Or does it just that it looks like?
Well, let's be honest. It's definitely aesthetics. It's reference parts of the Bible.
Come on.
We're not let's sugarcoat it. Let's not dance around it. It was reference and looking at parts of the Bible and almost mocking it. Whether you believe in God or not, I still think you should respect people's ideology and decision, regardless if you disagree with it or not, and you shouldn't mock it, especially not on a global stage. That's what I kind of took from it at first. But then, like I said, I was confused. I was very confused about the whole thing and what they were trying to present. I actually turned away from it a couple of times.
Okay, so wait a minute. So where and why did you turn away? I mean, because that's if it got to you that much to you, why would you turn away?
Oh no! When I was doing the Last Supper thing, I was like, "What? What are we doing?
Okay,
I don't even get it. What's that got to do with the Olympics? And what are we, And then there was the lady that was she was in the middle, like she was. I think when she was playing a part of where Jesus was supposed to be sitting.
Right. Yeah, she was the DJ in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what? Very confused. Very confused about what they were trying to present. Very confused about the ceremony. Very confused about what point they were trying to put across. When I thought this celebration of the opening ceremonies was always been a celebration of the athletes.
Yeah.
Coming to a global stage. That was not that. That was, I don't know what that was, to be honest with you. That was worse than the music awards we saw with all the devil stuff.
that was worse than the BET with what they call the EBT awards, the BET EBT awards.
Yeah, man.
There were three parts of the opening ceremony that I think kind of stuck out to folks. So those two that we talked about, the pale horse, the Last Supper reference, and again, if you guys got any insights about this and feelings, talk about in the comments. And then there was a scene when there were, I think it was three guys. They were having menage a trois. They were having an event, and it got pretty steamy, got a little sexual. It got real close to something. The camera followed them. They closed the door. Right. Again, understanding that Paris, understanding that France is very open. That is very love focused society. But again, understanding that the host country is of that ilk and of that nature. But again, so hold on. So going back, what does that have to do with the games? Now, yes. I'm not Morgan Freeman yet. I'm not Get Off My Lawn Kids yet. I'm not that guy. I'm aiming to be that guy. I'm not an old prude. I'm not that kind of dude. But again, I was wondering where some of the aspects of the opening ceremony fit in to represent the overall games, and I was confused, and I was just confused. So I'll leave it at
that. What does your sexual preference got to do with anything about celebrating sports at a global level? I have, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what if Paris was the one in charge of putting that together. Epic fail, because I have no idea what any of that has to do with celebrating all these wonderful athletes on a global stage at one time to be able to compete against each other. It had nothing to do with that. I don't know. I have no idea what they were trying to get across. They haven't gave an explanation what they were trying to get across. That was just their presentation. Now I don't care if you're from Paris, France, wherever you're from. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with what we're supposed to be celebrating. You know what I mean? So
y'all don't get mad at two old dudes here chopping it up because we having a conversation and we having
I
this
mean,
uncomfortable conversation.
no, 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 no.
We
I think
want to
it's
have the
opposite.
dialogue.
I think it's opposite. If you are mad, chime in and tell me what you mad about.
Yeah,
What
again,
did I
I'm
get?
trying to smoke some,
Yeah.
stoke some fires here. Y'all get
What
into the
didn't you get?
conversation.
Because I'm interested to see what our audience saw if they watched it, like, or they watched any of it. What did they see and what did they get out of it? Because maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I was missing something completely, but I don't think so. I just didn't get it. I really didn't get it. Didn't understand it. Don't even know why it was there. And it didn't portray what I thought it was supposed to portray. And maybe my expectations was way off. Maybe I expected something different than it was. I don't know. Marvin says that
what
they
was the
wanted to send a
message?
message.
What
What
was
was
the
the message?
message?
Okay, Marvin, let's not speak cold. What was the message they tried to send?
What was
That's
the
what I want.
message,
What was
man?
the message they were trying to send?
Yeah, I mean,
Are they trying to say we need to accept it and deal with it, or was they open the door for? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I have no clue what they were talking about.
got you.
Oh,
Okay,
what message? Who knows?
like,
Okay, you
who
confused
knows?
too, like me, yeah.
Okay,
So I have no idea, man. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, man. I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed in the opening ceremony.
it was
And
different.
it almost turns me off to not watch the closing ceremonies.
Ooh.
If it's anything like that, I don't want to watch it.
So I've never watched the full closing ceremonies because those get kind of drawn out, and half the athletes have already rolled out anyway.
Yeah,
But it wasn't completely a bust for me. There were those 3 points right there that really stuck out, and I was like, just help me to understand what you're talking about. But um, I used to work in the music industry for over a decade, so I've done shows and I've escorted that lady onto the stage from backstage to front stage. So to see Celine Dion come out there knowing what she's going through, or from a third party perspective, know what she's going through with her health, and to see her get out there on the Eiffel Tower and do her thing, that right there made me feel really good. I love that, right? So again, because I've been able to
yeah,
take her from the limo to the bus to the hotel to the backstage. So I've actually done that, and I've had those interactions with her. So that was cool. The music part there, when they went from Les Miserables to the opera singer, then the heavy metal piece, I thought it was cool. I'm a music dude, so I mean that again. I'm the things that I'm picking on are minuscule compared to some of the big things.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but I got
I
to find
think
some wins, brother. I got to find
well,
something
well
that I
you're
sat there for
looking. I
three
mean,
hours.
that's
I
what
said,
I thought that was kind of what the celebration was supposed to be about, or the opening series is supposed to be about. Those parts, yeah, those were cool. Those are what expected. Those are the things that we wanted to see. That other stuff, man, that threw me for an entire loop to why that was even thrown in there. And I don't know what that symbolism was supposed to mean to us on a global scale. Like this wasn't done in Paris. Maybe they did that in Paris and it was a Paris TV only and Paris was only seeing it. Maybe they acceptable and they understand what was going on. But to put that on a global scale and have people out there seeing that and reviewing that and looking at that, I thought it was not very good. It was poor judgment, I think, on the presenter's part.
again, yeah, it was different. I mean, and I'm sure the eccentric people that planned it thought it was going to be dope. Thought it was maybe they expected it to cause a little bit of eyebrow raises as well. All the athletes coming in on the river, I thought some of that was funny because I zoomed in real close, and some of those smaller teams on the little boats, I saw some folks that probably didn't make it the whole way without getting sick. And I saw Serena Williams when she was on her boat. Sister Serena, I think she lost her lunch as well. So seeing some of that was kind of funny. Seeing LeBron and Coco carrying the flags, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that was dope. We had a
No,
huge boat out there.
but those are the moments we're supposed to have. It's supposed to outshadow the
Yeah.
controversy.
Yeah.
Just like we did the year when the dude shot the arrow and it lit the thing. That was controversial. That was good when Muhammad Ali ran in with the flag.
Yeah.
Those are the things we celebrate when we see the Olympics opening ceremony. Maybe it's just changing, man. Maybe you're right. Maybe we're just two old guys.
Maybe we
that
can,
don't
you
get
know,
it
we
and don't get it. But some things I think are meant to be for tradition, right? It's supposed to be traditional and a traditional way to celebrate.
Yeah.
I think the Olympics on a global scale, when athletes around the world are supposed to be there to celebrate and participate, I think there needs to be a standard of tradition. There really needs to be. I don't care what country you're in. There needs to be a standard tradition the way we're going to open the ceremonies and celebrate and have a good time and party and have all these wonderful singers around the world and entertainment and give that to the people to experience what we're experiencing and then go on to the Olympics. If I was an athlete and I was experiencing, I'd be like, I don't know where I'm at, right? And I'd be like, what the hell just happened?
what is really going on? What is really going on?
Yeah, I just think some things are meant to be traditional. They are. And that's one of them. That's the one, you got to think, that's one global event that we have where we can celebrate. There's competition, no arguing, no bickering.
Yeah.
It's celebration. There's disappointment in the celebration, but it's celebration. It's us rooting for our country. It's us rooting for other athletes that we're looking for that story. Like I said, we're all those beautiful things come out of the Olympics, and I think, I'll be honest, man, I think that performance tainted it.
Yeah.
It really did, and it had nothing to. I just don't, and it's not what they were. It's not the actual act. It didn't fit in that spot. It didn't fit in that. That's not the place I don't think to celebrate it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we're talking more about that than some of the actual games, right? I mean, the games are going to be dope too. We're going to get into that too. But you're right. There were just those instances within the ceremony that just were kind of trifling. But I want to flash back.
I ain't say that, but look at that.
I haven't said that in a while. But one thing that I saw today, and I remembered it when you said, I saw a photo of the athletes from North and South Korea, taking selfies with each other.
Come on, man!
So that's what it's about right there, right? Yeah. It's the athletes themselves in competition. I don't even think that the athletes are as concerned about what we are talking about right now, the opening piece. They just were locked in, wanting to go out there and compete for their country and do the thing. And when I saw these selfies I'll see if I can find them as well in a minute, but there's the North Korean and the South Korean athletes taking selfies together.
See,
that'll shake up the world right there. That'll shake up the world.
That's exactly what the Olympics are about. It's the one place where we can be competitive and celebrate and cheer on our elite. We can cheer on our country. Not just elite athletes. We're cheering on our country. Yeah. We're cheering on what we want to, our country, how we want to celebrate them, and how we want to prove that we're, the best at that particular competition. It's the one thing that brings solidarity to a lot of people.
True.
To be honest with you, within the country. So why would we have, like I said, why would we have a celebration like that or opening ceremony like that, kicking this off that has those symbols that are really controversial, right? Really controversial. And I'm not saying that you can't do those things. I'm just saying I don't think that was the right place to present that in this kind of event. It just wasn't. Yeah. I don't feel that was right. And like I said, it left a sour taste in my mouth. And I believe some things need to just have regular tradition. I think they just need to be traditional celebrations.
We're OG traditionalists. We the old Morgan Freemans. I want to talk about this right here because I think today was today, whatever, first time that they let the triathletes compete. And Tony Davis, listen, that river got a lot of E. coli in it. Now, there is no way I'm strong enough, courageous enough to get in that river full of bacteria and swim in a triathlon when there's E. coli in that water. But they did it. I don't care how much testing you do. I don't care how much pH balance you check. I don't care how many prebiotics and probiotics I take. There is no way I'm going to get a terminal case of pink eye because I wanted to swim in your river. Listen again. I should be quiet. I know we're gonna lose. We might lose some sponsorships, but man, again, athlete at that level, you tell me that it's cool. I'm gonna fly all the way to Paris. I'm gonna compete in the Olympics. I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna do this triathlon. You say I'm gonna be all right. No one backed out. They all competed.
Hey, I'm sure.
Would you if your sport, if you
No,
were a triathlete?
you asked me to swim in feces. No, not the answer is no. No. What the hell you talking about? I don't know. I don't even know why you trying to answer the question or frame it. No, hell no, I ain't swimming in that.
Show's over, y'all.
No, I'm just. It's not gonna happen, man. If I had no choice, yeah, that's different. But if I got a choice, hell no, I ain't swimming in no feces and urine and all that stuff that's been in.
It's your
Like you said
job.
before, I've never been in the river. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
It's dope. It's a cool looking river. I mean, I've been on the gondolas
cool.
and everything. It's dope, yeah. But
hey, man, there's a lot of cool looking things that ain't good for you. I'm not gonna do those either. So
pray for him, y'all.
that being that, if I knew that was in there and that was a situation, then absolutely I would not compete in it. Now I know those people. I know they probably did all, like you said, all the testing and did everything in there, but there's certain things I just wouldn't do. That's me. I mean, good luck to those athletes. I hope nobody gets sick, right? If none of them get sick, then we should. It was all right.
No,
But
somebody gonna get something. It's gonna be like on the back page too, right? It's gonna be quiet as kept. It's gonna be one of the athletes on their Instagram story or on their TikTok. It's not gonna make CNN or MSNBC. It's gonna be kind of under the cover. So, but somebody gonna say, "Oh, I messed around and opened my." Okay, we're not gonna get graphic.
That's the day my hamstring gets pulled. I can't compete, and I'm sitting in the lounge having a drink with all the other athletes.
Your chance for gold. You wouldn't go for gold. You'd be like, "Hey, coach,
Hell no,
my
gold ain't
neck and my
that
back.
serious.
My neck
I could
and my back.
buy gold. I could buy me a gold medal.
Oh
I'm
my
cool.
God.
I'm not getting in that water, man. I just think, and I think if Paris does let them swim in that, and that's a part of the competition, and that water is that infested, shame on Paris, right? The country that's hosting. They should be able to have something else where they can swim in or do something that to combat a situation like that. But no, if it was just for gold, no, I wouldn't. You know, you might not. You throw a couple $1 million in there, I might have to get on in there and do my swimming.
All right, so we can talk about that story too. And Kevin saying, "Listen, no, hey, it looked good. I'm gonna take the pictures. I'm gonna do all that, but I'm not jumping in."
Yeah.
All right, so we got comments, but you brought something up again. And I'm an old man. If I don't talk about it, I'll forget it. The pay that some of these athletes are getting for competing,
Yeah. Okay.
Especially the pay that the athletes in the U.S. are getting, is embarrassing. I saw a story that I think the majority of athletes in the U.S. they compete, they get gold, or they medal. They're getting about $30,000 for their time, effort, energy, and all that. A lot of these teams don't even have sponsorships, man. Listen, shouts out to Flavor Flav for hearing the heat of the water polo team and sponsoring them. Shouts out to some of the other celebrities and entertainers that are seeing the same type of thing and taking care of flights, taking care of meals, taking care of families and hotels and all that stuff. But some of these other countries, obviously, who's my guy? I just saw him in the pool the other day. I think it was from Italy or somewhere, right? Gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to buy a drink for the rest of his life, more likely, right? National hero. Probably gonna have statues built for these folks. Again, go out to eat, go out for a drink. We got you, right? Just that kind of persona from other countries for these top tier athletes as they compete, as they win. But here in the U.S., we don't care. You better win, but we're not going to compensate you for it.
I think, it's crazy. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if it was the last Olympics or the Olympics before, where the basketball team gave their money to the women's because the women were getting no money. I forgot what year that was, but the men's basketball team donated their earnings they were getting to them, to the women. So you got to think, we're only now fast forward 8 years later or 12 years later, Now they're getting some compensation, but all sports are not being compensated at all, and it's pretty much sad when we represent our country. To be me, honestly, the United States needs to pay them. The United States needs to pay them because they're representing our country, and it needs to be more than 30,000. I know they get money on the back end if they win from endorsements, but what about the ones that didn't win?
Yes.
Right? There's always somebody better, and it's just because somebody was better than you that day doesn't mean you shouldn't be compensated. I think we leave too much up to these shoe companies and these sponsors to try to give them something, and then some of the less popular sports, when they don't get a sponsor, they don't do anything. Those people have to raise that money on their own if they want to go compete in the Olympics. I think we should eliminate that, and it should be a fund. We should save over 4 years of a fund to pay them to represent our country. I don't. It doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, really, we'll pay. And you know why it doesn't make any sense? Because we have people giving $1 trillion for the right to watch men's basketball. These TV companies.
Yeah.
Guess what? Those same exact TV companies are airing the Olympics where they're getting viewership and getting money off of that. A percentage of that money should go to those athletes. A percentage of the commercial money should go to those athletes. That way it would help fund all these things they need to do with some probably money left over. So it baffles me. How can NBC or I think Peacock and all them pay $1 trillion for the NBA rights for the next 3 years, and then they pay another $100 million for the women's rights these years? So you just gave over $1 trillion to watch basketball for 3 years. You'll still air the Olympics, and you won't pay the athletes you're airing on the Olympics for that same money.
That don't even sound right coming out your mouth.
I mean, it's true though. It's facts.
The greatest country on the planet, greatest democracy on the planet, and we can't take care of the greatest athletes in our country that go to represent our country wherever the Olympics are. We give you $30,000.
Let's give a number. Let's say how many athletes that represent America that are going over to Paris. How many athletes? Let's say
I think the number is like 400 or 500.
Okay, so 500. So you mean to tell me we can't give 500 people 75,000? That's your salary for going over and competing, and we pay your accommodation, right? Because 75,000 would cover if you had to pay anything out of pocket. It covers your costs. But if we gave them 75,000 and cover their accommodations, well, we're maybe out of pocket, maybe let's say less than 5 million. We're definitely out of less than 5 million easily. So we can't give $5 million to the athletes that represent our country when on TV, when we're watching it, it probably makes over quadruple that. And that's including watching handball, table tennis, and so on. As many viewers as they get and how much commercial money they get, these networks get, you can't give them $5 million as a budget to pay them and pay for all their expenses.
What's crazy about that is we talk about this domino effect a lot of times here as well. And you know what Dan is saying right here. Let's remember the athletes have to pay for their coaches, for their trainers, for their chefs, for all of those things, right? So these athletes can stay in top tier condition, top tier shape. I mean, those aren't necessarily discretionary funds, right? LeBron ain't going to Burger King. Okay,
no,
he's not going to do that. He's going to eat the top tier veal. He gonna eat the top tier, fillets, couple of bottles of wine, whatever. And he's gonna have his trainers there. He's gonna have people there taking care of him, and not just the billionaire who is LeBron, but also the $50,000 per person who's swimming in the pool in the 800 meters, who works at Home Depot, who had to take off 2 weeks to go to this event, pay for a good portion of it to get his mother, his wife, his father there as well. Yeah,
I'm gonna put it in perspective.
We can't take care of these folks.
Let's put it in perspective. Shedeur Sanders, son of Dion, has an $11 million NIL deal. That's more than everybody's getting paid to go to the Olympics.
That don't make no sense.
And he's ever played a professional snap in his life. That's crazy. That's just insane. And these people are supposed to be the top of their sport, competing at a global level.
Make it play. Let's
remember, they're not getting filmed locally, just in the United States. These people are being aired all over the country to every station, and every station has commercials. Every last one of them. showing commercials. So everybody's getting money. Everyone's getting money. Networks getting money. All these people are getting money. The brand they sponsor is getting money for them being out there, but no one wants to pay them. And it's a shame. United States, the greatest country in the world, can't put a slush fund of $5 million to pay those athletes a certain amount of money and then pay for all their combinations to fly back and forth from whatever countries is hosting the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a. I see where we're going. I like where we're going because we're looking for recognition of the effort. But Kevin just put an interesting statement here, which really aligns with us, right? Being an athlete's a choice. Why take care of these people versus taking care of regular working Joes?
Because these people represent our country.
Let's go a little bit deeper. Right, because you and I, because again, you and I talk a lot about social advocacy. We talk about making sure the homeless are taken care of, making sure mental health is taken care of.
Yeah.
Why take that $5 million and send it to Paris instead of the streets of Oakland, the streets of San Diego, the streets of Palo Alto, or whatever the case?
Yeah. And I would say I agree with we need to help a lot of people out and other situations out, but we also need to pay people for the effort when they represent our country, right? We pay the military, right? That's a choice. You go shoot somebody, you go in the army, that's a choice. You got to go with other countries to employ. They pay them to go do that. Why can't we go pay athletes to do the same thing? And we're not talking about a large amount. I'm not give them $5 million, but they need to be paid out of that portion as well. To help, again, combat homelessness and combat all that. I believe the United States does have enough money to do that. They've always had enough money to do that. It's a choice for them not to do that. Our society has chosen not to help those people in the right way, or those funds are misappropriate spending. But you can't tell me that a person that's representing our country, wearing our flag, representing the United States to the fullest, and going out there and doing a job shouldn't be compensated for it. Being an athlete is a job. It's entertaining us. We watch it.
Yeah. I sit in the middle, right? Because I think we are such a fruitful society that we can do both.
Yes, I agree.
Again, if we can if we can sit here and watch ESPN and TNT fight over having Shaq, Charles, and Ernie and that whole squad, and have billion dollar conversations about maintaining those folks as analysts, color commentators, and things of that, we can take care of the folks living on the street. We can take care of some food shelters. We can also take care of the folks that we are sending from San Diego, California, Sacramento, California, across the seas, flying on Delta to Paris to represent this great country of ours.
Yeah,
I can fly you. I can fly your wife. I can fly your mom, and I can fly your daddy over there. Listen. I got enough Delta points to fly a couple of folks. I know. Listen, I know Peacock, NBC. I know they got enough Delta points.
Yeah, right? I mean, I think it's exploit, man. You're gonna exploit these athletes and use them to be on your channel and use them to. Yeah, we forgot about Kenny. You're right, Kevin. Kenny Smith. I believe though, man, if they're gonna exploit them and show them on their network and do all those things, then why can't you guys fork up a little bit of cash to help pay them so they can be comfortable and have money representing our country? I don't think that's a hard thing. I don't think that's a hard discussion. It's really not. If it's only 500, it's an employees of 500. You pay them $75,000 to go compete in an event and pay for their accommodations while they're there. I don't think that's a big ask, a big tall ask. Because guess what? You know what? I mean, in our country, guess what? It's taxable. So you're gonna tax them on the $7,500.
That's what I say. Listen,
they're probably gonna tax them on the money we spend in travel.
You're gonna lose 30 to 40% of it off the top.
So they're gonna give them 75 and take 30 back. They're gonna give them, they're gonna fly them out there and take money off of that. So I just don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. We exploit them on TV. They use them to get marketing dollars and get advertising dollars, but yet they don't want to pay.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. And no, Mr. Cox, appreciate that bringing that up, man, because I think that was a discussion that we needed to have.
Yeah.
So
and I agree with Cox. Don't get me wrong. I ain't Shit.
Come on,
I'm
brother,
not
get the
putting
words
athletes
right.
in priority. I'm not making them a priority over our other social economic needs. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if they're representing, they should get paid. I do believe homelessness and all the other things that we're going through as a society need to be addressed as well. But I agree. I think there's enough money to help everybody and do everything. I think people in power, a lot of people in power choose not to help them, and choose not to allocate money towards them. And it's sad all the way around.
Truth. Okay, so now let's get into some of the events of the week thus far. Lot of I am now a fan. I am now a huge fan of rugby. You can't tell me nothing. You don't even listen. It'd be fighting words if someone was to tell me that rugby, especially women's rugby, wasn't the truth. Listen, them women out there is taking care of business. I'm not going to tell you if you haven't watched it. Medals have already been distributed, but again, everyone's watching replays and things like that. But I'm just going to tell you that women's rugby and table tennis. God, boy, listen. I can play a little. I can play a little table tennis. I can play a little ping pong. I can do that. Just beer pong, whatever. But to see these world class athletes doing table tennis and the concentrate and the women shooting, oh my god. I see. I don't even care about the men's basketball because we doing what we need to do. We got to do what we got to do, and we gonna win. I don't like
So
a
are
couple
you
of
in love with
things.
just competing or sport? Because I don't think every competition is a sport.
You gonna tell me rugby in a sport?
No, I'm not saying rugby.
You gonna tell? Listen, let me sit up right, yo. You gonna tell me rugby isn't the truth?
No, I think rugby is a sport.
Okay,
And it's the truth.
so
I
rugby
don't
is
understand
dope.
all the rules, but rugby is
Man,
definitely a
I'm
sport.
gonna find the rules.
It's
I'm gonna figure it out.
physically imposing. I don't think
Yeah.
shooting is a sport. I think it's competitive, but it's not a sport.
I just like how cool they look. So what I think she was from Korea, right? And they got the gear on, right? Whoop whoops. I mean, they fitted. They got the little James Bond look. I just like how slick they look when they out there shooting. So that's that
So
part.
now you're a fan of the look, not the actual sport.
I'm like a Taylor Swift kind of fan. I'm like I haven't watched the whole match or anything, but I'm like, okay, I see you.
I don't know. I mean, shooting, and I saw it. I saw it. I saw the dude win. I forgot the guy from China lost. I forgot the guy that won. I forgot where he's from, Austria or somewhere there.
Yeah,
Australia.
but sit there. I mean, stand there, just just look cool.
That's not a sport, dog.
I know it's, but listen, I ain't okay. I'm telling you what I'm watching. See, because we're gonna have this conversation in a week when breaking finally starts, and you're gonna have problems about that.
Yeah, that's not a sport either. That's a dance competition. That's not a sport.
It's a battle.
It's a battle. It's not a sport. It's not a sport, man. And Kevin Cox, I want you to chime in on this. Tell me what you think is a sport and not a sport, because some of those things are not sports. They're competitive.
Oh my God! You got me over here I'm hitting the wrong one. And say, what is the definition of a sport? Listen, okay. So I mentioned a couple of them that I've been watching. I'm trying to branch out. I said rugby. Been watching that. Watch a little bit of triathlon.
We ain't talking about that one. We're talking about shooting. Shooting is not a sport.
I just mentioned it because I'm liking the energy there. Table tennis. I'm like, even Anthony. Come on, man. Even Anthony Edwards is there watching the table tennis. I mean, it's exciting.
I think table tennis is cool, but I mean, I don't know if it's actually. I mean, table tennis is cool. Don't get me wrong. That homeboy from China, man. I don't know how he did that little serve thing he was doing.
You see cool. What I'm saying? Let me see you do that.
That's cool, but I mean, is that a sport?
Let me see you put a curve on a table tennis. No, now cornhole will never be a sport that I will agree.
Why? It's the same thing. It's competitive,
no, so
right?
Again, it just some maybe again I'm biased again, but that's not. I don't know what that is. That's just a drunken.
To answer Kevin Cox's question, I don't know what the definition of a sport is. But I'm saying I don't think shooting or breakdancing is a sport. Yeah,
True.
everything is not
I
a
agree.
sport.
Not a sport. Not it's a competition. I'm not even gonna say the c word
What's the C word?
and get us in trouble because that's not even in the Olympics. Talking about sport
Okay,
versus competition. I'm not gonna talk about
okay.
cheerleading.
Oh, see, that's competitive. But I mean,
it's,
throwing darts is competitive, but it's not a sport.
it's not in the
So,
Olympics, man. Don't count.
well, okay, you know the
Don't
one that
count.
was in the Olympics. I think it's equestrian, but it wasn't the one when you're jumping over the poles. It was just the dude, the horse was trotting around. How's that a sport? I don't understand how that is a sport. I don't even know. I don't even know how to judge something like that. So I'm saying, so some things
I
aren't.
can't do it.
I don't consider them as sports. They're
Right.
competitive, but it's not a sport. So yeah,
Kevin had gone
that's a
out
whole
to
other.
ChatGPT and found the definition of a sport. Ladies and gentlemen, sport is a human activity involving physical exertion and skill as the primary focus of the activity with elements of competition.
Okay, there we go. So physical excursion. I don't see some of those sports exemplifying physical excursion at all. Concentration, absolutely.
Yeah.
Physical excursion, no. No, not even a little bit.
Not even. Okay. I am the guy that stirs the pot and instigates. I probably will never say how I really feel, but I just want to again have the dialogue, because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. I'm trying to be right in the middle. I'm trying to be independent. In this red and blue world,
Hey,
I'm trying to be purple.
With Team No Sleep, you're supposed to have an opinion on everything.
Give me a couple of more shots of this because I'm not going to the gym tonight. Just give me another 10
You gotta
minutes.
have an opinion. You gotta have an opinion on everything that we say.
All right.
And what we do on our show.
Sport. Okay. Let me get back on this though. Gymnastics is the truth. We know that. Gymnastics is phenomenal. The men. I'm gonna start with the men. Them dudes, and the fact that we got some diversity in there doing the thing too. My gosh, when those men won their medal finally, and they were out there doing pommel horses and flips and dips and all that stuff, that just, and their celebration, because regardless of what you get, gold, silver, or bronze, competition, and then you medal, you're standing on that podium. If y'all haven't watched the way the men's gymnastics team celebrated during competition, and then when they realized that they were going to be on the podium, and then the party that ensued afterwards, that's what this whole thing is about. So the men's gymnastics is what it is. We expected the women to do what they did. We expected Simone to carry her crew with her and do what they did. Again, I'm trying not to say what everybody got in case you haven't watched it yet, but women's gymnastics was the truth. They were asked what their team nickname was. FAAFO is what it was called. Mess around and find out. That was the name. That was the name of their team. That was their slogan for themselves. Again, trying to make sure we don't get kicked off from any subscribers or anything. But right. So they went in with that mentality, and they did what they needed to do. Who I'm really impressed with is the women's soccer team. I always knew the women's soccer team was dope. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the men's. But so far, because we haven't even got to the track and field pieces yet, we haven't got to even the boxing like we talked about. The swimming is off the chain too. Oh my gosh, the swimming is crazy. But who have you or what have you been watching so far?
Everything. I've been channel surfing when it comes to the Olympics so far. Obviously watch a little bit of basketball because that's always intriguing because we get to see the the NBA players play. I watched ping pong. I did table tennis. That was cool. Like I said, I watched handball, which was interesting because I didn't know that's different. I didn't even know that's how you play handball. My definition of handball is when you have a little ball, you hit it against the wall. It's you playing against somebody with your hand. It's going against the wall. I didn't know you play teams and you throw it in the net and all that stuff. It was like a combination of soccer, basketball, and some other and all kinds of stuff. I was kind of intrigued by that, trying to figure out the rules and all that stuff. So I watched that. I can't say I wasn't overly excited, but I was like, okay, that's different. I think volleyball is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think volleyball is dope for the Olympics. I think that's a great competition for. And then I think all the stuff that us in the United States is really looking forward to is like coming up this next
Yes.
week after this
Yeah.
weekend. All the boxing, the final, the pools for the basketball coming up for men's and women's basketball, and all the track and field events are obviously what we're all looking forward to. I know the Jamaican girl dropped out. I forgot her name. She
Yeah.
dropped out.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
that's unfortunate, right? Because we really wanted to see that battle, but Sakari was
yeah,
gonna win anyway.
yeah.
Right?
Health is health, though.
Sakari's
I
gonna
mean,
win
she got to
anyway.
take care.
So
She got to take care of herself, and
yeah.
then all those things, and then I think we'll see the medal counts start to kind of either even out. I know we're first in overall medals, but we're not so good in the golds just yet. But I think that's coming. Especially also with I think the gymnastic individuals, like they did team, that's where we're at now. And then when they do individuals, I think everything's going to change again. Seeing where everybody places and stuff. So I mean, I like the tradition. I like the usual sports that we always watch. The only one that was odd to me was, like I said, handball. That was like eye opening, man. I never seen team handball. They throw it in the net and they can bounce. They got to bounce the ball like basketball. It was weird, man. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
this is going all over the place. But I did like the rugby highlights and that the U.S. won the rugby thing. That was cool, especially on the play she won it on when she took it to the house.
Yes.
That was pretty dope. And I think and the good thing about that, not just so much the sport, I like it because it brought a lot of life. Typically Polynesians play a lot of rugby in the
Yeah.
United States.
Yeah.
Not everybody else. It's typically a lot of Polynesians and maybe a sprinkle of everybody else kind of gets involved. I think this is going to shed a whole new light in bringing that sport to light, to life, and more people participating in it. And hopefully it's just not stays club in the high school circuit. I hope it gets to become an actual sport within high school, within the varsity, at least the varsity level as well, because now it's getting a lot of recognition from what they were able to accomplish.
I mean, this really is the avenue or the venue for that recognition, right? You get the spotlight, and then you start winning, and then more folks start talking about it, and then hopefully sports don't get too cut from various curriculums at schools and
Oh,
universities that they actually bring some of this stuff back. But what you got?
the bomb story though from the Olympics. The young lady that competed in fencing and she's 7 months pregnant.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's dope. I thought
Listen, I
that
can't
was
do
cool.
nothing if I got a cold, right? And she's 7 months pregnant, and she.
Yeah, she's 7 months pregnant. She's doing the fence. She's competing in the fencing competition. I thought that was really really cool. And to hear her talk about it was really it was not only inspiring, not I don't even know if use the right word of inspiring, but it was really positive and motivating. Like she's even in her condition being pregnant, she's in there competing hard and doing very well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was definitely dope. That was again. So more positive than negative. Less controversy. North and South Korea taking selfies. U.S. Gymnastics is doing their thing. I'm not watching skateboarding. I'm not watching BMX. I am watching rugby.
Yeah,
I am going to watch a little table tennis.
I'm gonna be real, man. Some of this stuff, I don't know how they judge it. I don't. I'm like, man, how do you even judge that? What's the criteria for them to be, to be successful? Like, what's a great run and what's a bad run? I would not know because I can't do any of it. Right?
Yeah.
I can't go up on the skateboard and do 5 flips and come down and do a twirl and all. I don't know if that's good or bad. Right? You know what I mean? Or that's okay. Or man, that's something because all of it's amazing to me. A lot of those things. So, Olympics.
That's how I feel about surfing too. Now.
Yeah.
Right, because it's so fast, and how do you judge the perfect ride or whatever the case may be? And me being, I started paying attention to surfing only for one particular reason, and it was this photo right here. And I had to go back and watch to make sure this wasn't AI generated or that this wasn't photoshopped. And I watched the guy's run. The guy's run was all of 10 seconds, and at the end of his run, the photographer took this shot.
That's a bad shot.
It's literally a genuine shot of this guy at the end of his run, pointing to the crowd. He's levitating in the air. That's the dopest shot on the planet, right there.
That's a nice photo, right there. A really nice photo. Yeah.
So again, how do you judge it? How do you measure it? He got a 9 out of 10 on that on the ride, but he's got the photo that will be on the cover of Time magazine. as the epitome of what the Olympics was. But I agree with you, man. How do you judge some of the stuff? It's cool to watch the best do what they do, though. It's cool to watch the best do
Yeah.
what they do.
And shout out to the women's basketball team, U.S. women's basketball team. They balled out. Man, they balled out.
Yeah.
Something special. But it was interesting. I saw a comment that Mark Cuban said that he doesn't feel professional basketball players should play in the Olympics anymore. He thinks it should go back down to collegiate.
I have nothing to say. I'm just sitting here quiet because I have nothing to say. I'm right now.
I mean,
why would we not send our best?
I mean, well, maybe at a point they were our best, right? They were some of the best we were sending over there, and we were still winning. At some point, we lost touch.
Hold on, that's crazy. And you say that, and I start thinking about it. The game has gotten so condensed and small now because the rest of the world has gotten so good. You got Jokic playing for Serbia. Jokic is a couple of time MVP champion.
And you look on those teams, though. But you look on those teams, players from Duke, players from other colleges are actually playing in that professional level or playing on that level that they made the Olympic team.
Wemby's out there killing it for France right now.
Yeah, but his point was like that would be a platform for them to strive in the collegiate level for them to strive to be and take the best 12 or 15 college players we have and give them that experience to go over there and play against international competition and measure themselves against those guys because we did it so much before. Like, we did it the one time because we lost and we were pissed off. Let's be honest, the premise of this whole thing is because we lost, we got pissed off, and we're like, oh, no, okay, we're going to send our best now to blow everybody out. And it's pretty much been that way except for the one snafu, that one Olympic team that wasn't able to do it. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing – I don't like seeing the United States blow out Sudan have a lead by 35 points. I mean, what's the point of us?
Listen, shout out to South Sudan. Shout out to them
they
brothers
balled
from
and
South
they came
Sudan.
Back. They came back, but I'm saying, I mean, the Sudan made the score close, but I mean, United States is beating them pretty bad. I mean, it was 34-14 in the first quarter. So, I mean, we know our elite are the elite. Why aren't we bringing some other people to kind of be in there and do their thing? I don't know. Man. I can see both ways. I can see both ways.
I would you getting kind of middle ground like me. You getting a little grayer. Over the year, because you would normally be
no. I mean, I like competition, man. Let's be competitive. The blowout thing, and that we can really see how good they are compared to the other pros. Right? We really see.
So I would say this. I would say because I know that there's at least one collegiate athlete because Haley Van Lith is on the women's side, and she's still a collegiate athlete.
We don't have any on the men's side, all pros.
Yeah, so maybe do something with that, right? Maybe have 3 or 4 collegiate athletes, top collegiate athletes, and then our superstars. I'm actually upset with the men's side because I don't think Steve Kerr is coaching appropriately. I do not like seeing Jason Tatum sit the bench. I don't. I don't like seeing the man who almost won MVP for the I don't like seeing him not play as much as he should be playing. I think
wait. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, man. I have a problem with that.
How much do you think he should be playing?
I think Jason Tatum need to be starting. I really do. And again, I'm not a Boston fan. I'm just saying I just think that Jason Tatum right now, again, because the man has the ring, the current ring. I'm gonna say it.
Over who?
I'm gonna say it.
Tell me who you should be starting over.
Okay, God, why y'all this pressure? I think KD could come off the bench.
KD did come off the bench.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I didn't watch it now in just case somebody threw something at me. Obviously, LeBron gonna start. Obviously, Steph gonna start. But I just think that, and again, I'm not necessarily a Celtics fan. I just think that. Get a man his flowers for doing what he did in the last few months, and let him have some more minutes in terms of the recognition. Halliburton, I saw him out there playing a lot of minutes as well. I saw. Well, let's see. What's his name?
Just to let you know, Tatum started. He started tonight. He did start tonight.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet. See, there we go. Okay, so I got it queued up. I got it queued up.
Okay. But I'm saying as far as Menace is concerned and
Oh
that
wow.
team, I don't know.
Okay. So again,
I'm not
I
sure if
need to
he's a
watch.
starter. I'm not sure if he's a starter. I think Jason Tatum he's inconsistent, right? And you got to match up. You got to be. It's all. I think that's all about matchups. Playing against Serbia when he played against Nicholas like Jokic, I thought he should have gotten the game, but he shouldn't start. There's nowhere for him to start. There was nowhere for him to start. I think it's all about matchups. Now, I will give you this. I don't think Kerr's doing the best job of coaching. I don't think he is. I think he's sticking some guys out there. He's only coaching when it gets tough, right? And then he's going to throw some plays in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he let LeBron and them Steph do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to gel.
I am a Drew Holiday fan. I think anytime Drew Holiday is anywhere near basketball, he's just going to find the bottom of the rim. I just don't know. He just got that touch. I see folks that talk about the game with South. I haven't even watched the game yet. It's queued up and watch it later tonight. But if Drew is playing,
now I do believe it. I'll tell you the one thing I don't like. There shouldn't be 3 Celtics on the Olympic team. I think they should cap it to only 2 players from a team can come. It shouldn't be 3. You know, you got, and I know no knock on White, no knock on Holiday, no knock on Tatum. I don't care which one you have, but there shouldn't be 3 on there. I think it's very hard to kind of get that all meshed in there as a team. I do believe that Kerr's coaching with a lot of egos.
Yeah,
a lot of people
said, it's a hard job, right? Just trying to corral all those type A plus personalities.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be the superstar. Everybody wants the ball. Everybody wants to shoot. So I don't, meshing that together. But I do believe he needs to have some type of rotation in synergy with some guys that go in. I see him always deferring to LeBron and KD. Like these last 2 games, things get tough. LeBron and KD come in here and save the day. And then everybody else kind of gets to play. And not even Steph. I mean, Steph hit a couple of big shots at the end of the game, but he wasn't. The game, the international game was hard for Steph because he can't get.
Well, and it's a compact game. It's a shorter duration game too. So I mean, that's probably a little tough for our folks to get used to.
And Steph can't shoot 30 shots and get ready and wait till he gets to like 10 to get hot. It's impossible. You got to get yours in the little minute of shots that you're allowed to get. So I think that's a lot. It's a lot different. It's going to be different, man. I mean, the U.S., like I said, I don't think Kerr's coaching is best at all. But I think he has such a good team, he doesn't have to coach his best. He don't have to draw all the X's and O's because somebody. I mean, you got to think. Bam was a superstar tonight. Bam Adebayo was a guy that was scoring all the points.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. He didn't miss a shot in the first half. He had like 6 dunks or something like that. So he was a guy that was doing everything in the first half to kind of get him, and then the U.S. took him over. So I don't agree that Tatum didn't get a chance to play in the first round. I thought he should have played in the first game. But I also understand there's matchups. It's a matchup kind of different kind of game. And I'll give Kerr a slide. I don't think he meant to do that. I think it was just, hey, let's put this game away and go. And as the game got away, they started laughing and giggling and all that stuff. You're not paying attention to rotations at that point. Everybody's slapping 5s and laughing.
We finna win. We gonna win.
I think he's just like, oh, smack! I forgot to put that dude in. Oh, damn! I didn't realize I didn't get him in. You know what I mean? I think it's one of those things, one of those kind of things. So,
I worry about Anthony Davis.
What about?
I call him Mr. Glass. I do. At least in the regular NBA season, I think I call him Mr. Glass. So I'll watch the game tonight. We'll see. But I worry about him.
Nah, man, he good. Anthony Davis is a baller.
Okay. Oh yeah, he can play. He can do his thing for sure. But I just he got a lot of issues. All right, I'm gonna leave our team alone because we expect them to do what they need to do, and we're gonna speak it into fruition and existence that they're gonna bring home a medal. And if they don't bring home gold, it's okay. But that's what they need to do.
Nah. That's too much money invested not to bring home gold. You try to give a pass off. If you don't bring home gold, it's gonna be an epic disappointment.
There's gonna be a problem. There's gonna be some furniture moving if y'all don't.
Yeah. I think them and the women are supposed to bring home gold. I think, and that's an expectation we have. And I think if you send our pros who are supposed to be the best in the world, we should win gold. We should expect gold. We should always get gold if that's the case. I don't, as much as the countries are catching up, they're still not. They're just not quite there. And I do believe we play a lot more physical than people play globally.
True.
Our
That's
game
true.
is a lot more physical. Even on the basketball court, it's a lot more physical. So, good luck to the USA team, all
Yeah,
millionaires.
shout out to
I don't feel
everybody doing their thing.
I,
So I tell you what, let's bring this plane in.
okay.
Training camp has started. NFL.
Yes.
Everybody's got their pads on. OTAs, doing what they need to do. We'll see how it works out. Can Kansas City do it one more again?
Nah.
Can Kansas City do it one more again?
Nah.
I don't know.
I don't think they can.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But again, it'd be a neat trick. It would be a neat trick. But
I like Mahomes, and he's going to be one of the greatest to go down. But I don't think he can get it again. I think that the extended season, and also that some of the free agents trades are going to make a big impact. And I just think that road is getting tougher and tougher because teams are getting better and better.
yeah.
Right? Not saying they're not getting better, but teams are really drastically getting better. I think Miami's going to be tough to beat. Baltimore's going to be tough to beat getting out of the conference. Houston is going to be right there because they got the free agents they got with Diggs there. I think they got a lot of people they're going to have to get through. And then once they get to there, I think they're going to even have Philadelphia, the 49ers, waiting in the wings, which both of them teams are going to be super duper tough.
Oh yeah.
Barring no injury, it's going to be a rough road to get to that Super Bowl.
That's the thing. Barring no injury, and next week when we have our guest on, I want to talk about some of these contracts too. I mean, because we got problems. I don't have problems. Some folks got problems with Tua's contract. Some folks got problems with Love's contract.
CeeDee Lamb's contract coming up, so
right. I mean,
they're gonna pay him. Yeah, he's talking about getting $35 million a year.
Every year, $35 million.
Yeah. I think the contract thing is something that's set, and obviously the great shout out to the NFLPA, right? They doing it big. I think in this era of signing, the 49ers are in the biggest trouble. Bang Bang Niner Gang is in the biggest trouble because they have so many superstars and they're not going to be able to take care of them all. And that's the problem with the Ayuk. Ayuk can't get signed. Trey Williams is. So you got to think, do I sign Ayuk or do I give Trey Williams some money? Who's the best left guard? And let's be honest with you, Brock Purdy will be the highest paid player in the NFL come next year when his contract extension's up. The man in his first year led him to a big one of the biggest playoff wins. He led him to the Super Bowl in his second year. I guarantee you, his agent is like, "Hey, the bar is $55 million. Brock Purdy deserves $60 million."
Yeah, he gonna get his money. Yeah, he gonna get his money.
So, I think right now, but in immediate terms, the signing thing is like, if you're the Niners, is it Trey Williams or is it Ayuk?
Wow.
You cannot let the best left tackle in the NFL go. And you can't have him sit out for the rest of this for a long period of time. Ayuk is one of the backbones to your passing game. What can you do? I think and you got to think when that goes up. Fred the linebacker. Fred, what's Fred's last name?
Warner.
Yeah, Fred Warner. He's up next year. So I think Fred Warner's up there. You got to pay Fred, and then everybody kind of goes a cycle again. They already gave McCaffrey his money. They gave who else the money? Debo and the tight end.
Debo got his money. Debo got his money.
Yeah, Debo got his money. The tight end got his. Kelsey got his money. Ayuk now is his turn. I don't think they're gonna. Like I said, you got to choose between Ayuk and Trey Williams, and I think Ayuk is a beast. I think he's actually one of the best receivers in the league. I don't think you can keep him. You can't because you got to pay Trey. You have to. And he's sitting out right now till he gets a contract extension.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bosa is up. Yeah, you got a whole bunch of cats.
But I agree with Kevin. I think I agree with what you're insinuating too. I mean, Williams is, man, you can't let that go.
You cannot let that go.
Ayuk is dope. I mean, listen, the man is highlight ESPN top 2, 3, 4 all the time. But good Lord, you can't let Williams go. You can't. You get that man what he's worth.
And I think at this point with the Niners, what they're gonna do, what they should do, is if you know you can't sign Ayuk, trade him and get some assets. And what I mean by assets, get some draft picks to be able to lay low and start building over again. And I think Washington's a great place for him to go. I think Pittsburgh's a great place where he would want to go. Any of those places that want to give him massive trade.
Yeah, I'll take him in Pittsburgh. I'll take him.
Hey, I'm saying any place that wants to give them multiple draft picks for IU. I think this is the time to do it, and let's start building. The only thing that you see right now is Debo's politicking hard for them to re-sign IU. He's politicking like we need him. We need him back. We need him back. He's a part of our core. But I can't see IU at this point taking any less money than he's supposed to because he's earned it. And then number two, I mean, if you're looking from IU standpoint, why should I? I mean, my numbers are just as good as anybody out there. I should get paid like them. I just think the Niners just don't have an answer, man. It's not enough money to go around.
Yeah, because it's not baseball, and because there actually is a salary cap.
Yeah,
right. If there was no salary cap like baseball, we wouldn't even have to worry about this discussion. And Kevin, hush your mouth. You know, what do you say? Let Debo go. Come on now, you can't let Debo go.
You can't let Debo go because the offense is built for multiple athletes, and Debo's one of those.
Right. If I got to switch, if I got to choose between Ayuk and Debo, it's gonna be a hard one. But I'm gonna let Ayuk.
The only thing though, but I with Kevin, I see Debo. I can see why it says Debo because he's injury prone. But he's injury prone because he does so many different things, right? Hand off the ball, pass the ball. He blocks very, very well. He does special teams for you, and so on and so on. So you can't get him, and the offense is built for a key player like Sebo because he does the reverses, he does the counter trades back. You know, then they got McCaffrey as well. So you can't let him go because that's how the offense is built. I do believe though that Ayuk, man, I mean, they shouldn't get rid of him. I don't want to get rid of him, but there's no way they're going to be able to hold on to him. I just
how much money we got in the pocket? How much? When you stack like that? Okay, we'll go talk a little bit more about that. I tell you what, bring the plane in. Tell the folks who we got coming next week because that kind of helps with this football conversation a little bit.
Absolutely, we got the legendary Hall of Fame nominee Hardy Nickerson, El Dragon, coming to the show next week. So please, you guys tune in. I don't know if you guys know. If you don't know who Hardy is, he was famous for the Tampa 2 defense where Tampa Bay changed their game around and became a powerhouse in the league. He was one of the key anchors for that. And then he went on to Pittsburgh to have a great career. Legend at Cal Berkeley, the whole nine. Guy's just a wonderful guy. He coaches at Bishop High School, Bishop O'Dowd in Oakland. So he's a pillar in the community, originally from Compton, USA. So, man, it's going to be a great show having him on. And then after that, I got to give a shout out. I talked to a very amazing person today. She's a leader in the diversity world, a leader in the high-tech world, and she's really fighting the cause. And I wouldn't be permissive if I wouldn't say it, but she has tech for Kamala Harris, the president. It's to show that the tech supports Kamala Harris and her ventures and what she's doing. The lady that I spoke to was a very intricate part in the tech world, and she wants to show her support for her. So I told her I would give her a shout out because I support her. Very amazing person. I know people don't, and we don't like to get political on the show, but I think what they're doing to make sure tech is acknowledged, African American people are acknowledged in tech, and just to show that, hey, we want to be able to be supportive to somebody that really supports true democracy, not only in the world, but it's also in the tech world. I had to give a shout out. So if anybody wants to participate, please do. Otherwise, man, you know me, always blessed. Can't say it enough. And, we as a people, just like we're talking about politics or other things, we have to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. And that's what we're all about.
Montel and James, bringing the heat, team no sleep, with champions meet, we're on the mic, taking over the game, no time for rest, no scrambling for fame. Talking sports, breaking it down from the court to the field, all around town, we stay up all night, grinding on the mic, bringing news, real stories on the fly. Montel's got the stats, James got the flow, together we're two and ready